Hi guys, Ed here. Today I'm going to be taking you through a pull session that I've got straight off our 5-day mass method program, which is on our new app that is live now. Main focuses for this session is set quality, keeping the intensity really high and making the most out of the sets that we have. So it's a lower volume, higher intensity session. Let's get into it. So first movement we've got is a pull-up. Do this weighted if you can, and if you need to, you can also do it band assisted. So main kind of cues when doing a weighted pull-up is going to be scapular elevation, and then as we're contracting, scapular depression, okay? So hands about 1.5 times shoulder width apart. We want to make sure we get a full extension at the bottom and then driving our chest to the bar nice and hard. All the way down, drive up. We want to try and take these sets as close as we can to failure while ensuring that we're maintaining good form throughout the whole set. A couple of tips when going into the pull-ups: use straps if you can. A lot of people think straps are cheating, but what straps are going to do is they're going to remove your grip as a limiting factor so you can actually focus on the target muscles, which are your lats and your mid-back. Right, next up we have a cable seated row. So we've looked at focusing on the lats through a vertical plane. Now we're going to look at the lats in a more horizontal plane. So you need a cable, you need a bench. I like to use a close grip cable attachment so we can keep the arm nice and close to the body, which is going to keep the focus on the lats. So main cues with this is, like I just said, we want to keep the arms close to the body. So we're going to be here, keeping the hands nice and relaxed. Almost think of your hands as hooks, and we want to drive the elbows down into the hip. So we're here, pulling nice and close. Fully extend and then drive. Notice how I'm keeping my torso fairly straight. A little bit of body English is okay as you get towards the back end of the set, but for the most part, we want to keep the movement through the upper arm. So my humerus reaches forward and then I drive back to the midline. Cool, so third movement, we have a barbell bent over row. So we've done our 2 lat focus movements. Now we're gonna move on to our main compound. We're gonna be looking at traps and mid back here. So barbell movement, the main thing is being stable and being strong. We want feet about shoulder width apart, wherever's most comfortable. In terms of hand grip, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Gonna slightly elevate off the floor, and then we're just driving the elbows back to the belly button. Keeping that torso over, driving the elbows back. So again, with any kind of pull movement, use straps if you can. Obviously, I don't have straps at the moment, but if you do have access to straps, use them. They will take your back gains to the next level. Next, we have a single arm lat pull down. I'm using it with a bench. The reason we're using a bench is because it's great for an external support, just so you can keep that torso really locked in place and have something to brace against. However, you can do it without one. Some people like to do it kneeling, which is quite a good option. However, if you have access to a bench, I would always use it. Main cues with this here, similar to the seated row. We want to keep the elbow close to the body. We want to pull down into the hip. This is going to really focus on your lats, especially your lower lats, because we're coming in at a more vertical plane. So driving that elbow down into the hip, really squeezing and getting that nice deep connection with the lats there. So extend, have a slight pause in the change of direction, drive down hard and squeeze. That's the majority of the back work done. So we've looked at mid-back in the vertical and the horizontal plane. We've looked at lats in the vertical and the horizontal plane. Now we're going to look at the rear delts, which are often a underappreciated muscle group. So I'm using a cuff here, but if you have a D handle, it's also fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to be driving from a high to low angle. So you want to use your offhand to stabilize, keep your torso nice and fixed. And then from this position, we're driving diagonally down, like so. Keeping the arm in a fixed position. Notice how my elbow angle doesn't change, and I'm almost scooping out and down into that corner. This is going to isolate the rear delts really well and should get them firing up just after one set, really. All right, guys, so that is all the back work done. We're moving on to the guns now. So we've got 2 bicep exercises, one where we're training the bicep in the short position, and then one when we're training the bicep in the lengthened position. So all that means is just the position of your upper arm. One where the arm's in front of you and one when the arm is behind you. So first we've got a single arm preacher curl. So how we want to set this up, upper arm placed at the top of the bench. We want to have a supinated hand position, so that's basically when your palm is facing up. Use your offhand as a brace, and then all we're doing is curling up towards our chin here. Control down. I actually like to use the bench to kind of dead stop. It's a nice way of standardizing the movement, so you know you're getting the same amount of range every single rep. Let's drive up, squeeze, control down, soft touch, drive up. Last exercise of the session is a dumbbell incline curl. So like I mentioned before, the arm is going to be behind the body here. So we're going to be lying back on the bench, arms fully extended, chest nice and proud, and then we're almost going to imagine dragging the dumbbell up to around our shoulders actually. So we're here, drag up, squeeze, control down. Full extension at the bottom, no half reps, guys. Drive up strong, big squeeze. Again, we want to take all of these sets as close as we can to failure while maintaining form. I don't want to see any of this swinging and chucking your whole body around. I want to stay fixed in place, drag up strong, nice squeeze. So there we have it. That is one of the 5 sessions on our 5-day mass method program that is live on our new app. If you want to buy into the program, if you want to give it a go yourself, get over onto the app and sign up. You will not regret it. That was the pull session. Main focuses for that session are going to be set intensity. Okay, training hard. Every week you come in trying to beat your previous week's numbers, whether it be by a little bit more weight or a little bit more reps. Okay, so we really want to chase that progression while maintaining good form throughout. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you at the next session.